What is going on, everybody? It's Skills here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Outriders. Yes, I got my hands on it last week thanks to Square Enix for setting up a server for me to remote connect all the way from Miami, Florida to California. They set that up for me, and I was able to get hands on with the new class, the Technomancer, and we haven't seen this class yet from Outriders. They've showed every class, but this is the final class that they are releasing. They gave me hands on with it, so I'm excited to bring this to you. Now, some of you might ask, well, what is Outriders? Well, Outriders is a third-person RPG shooter. So if you guys follow my channel, you guys know we like third-person RPG shooters on this channel. Now, you might even ask, is this single-player game or can you play with other players? Well, this game can be played solo or with up to 2 other players. It is a solo player or co-op game, so you can have a total of 3 members on your team. Whichever way you decide to play, whether you want to be solo or not, what skills you decide to use, what perks you decide to unlock, your experience will be unique no matter what. Now, the great thing about this game is it always gives you ability to play the way you want to play, to spec into the perks that you want to spec into. Now, what we're seeing right here is the skill tree, and you can see how in depth this skill tree goes. Now, I decided to go with a little bit more damage, weapon damage, and a little bit more damage on my skills. So I wanted my skills to do some damage, and I wanted my weapons to do some damage. And when I tell you, I finally spec'd into this halfway through the playthrough, I could tell the difference. I could 100% tell the difference that you started to feel more powerful the more class points you had and the more perks you unlocked. So that's what I really loved about this game, because, you know, when you're grinding for loot, when you're grinding for skill points or class points, don't you love to feel powerful? And that's what I felt with this game. I started to feel more powerful. I felt like the content started to feel like I was in control of it versus always playing on defensive, always running back. It was a total different game experience as I started to unlock these class points. Now, what's great about the Technomancer is it's one of those flexible classes that can be built around crowd control support character, damage overtime monster, a heavy ordnance blaster, or even a mix of everything. Now, a key thing to remember about the Technomancer is that it is the only class in Outriders that can heal teammates with its powers. And in some of the gameplay, you might actually see that where it's going off. Now, they equipped me with a level 30 character, and we were in an area that's about 15 hours or so into the game. Now, we also were equipped with 20 class points, which you actually got to see me unlock a lot of those points earlier. So what I really noticed is when you do level up, not only does gear matter, but those class points and unlocking those perks really matter. Because this area right here that you're seeing me and my teammate play, we were failing over and over. And I had to ask the developers, I was like, hey, look, what is going on? I just feel like I'm underpowered. I feel like my skills don't hit enough. I feel like I didn't hit enough. And they were like, did you equip your class points? And I felt like a total noob. And once I unlocked those perks, I'm gonna tell you, it was night and day. Making sure that you guys had the right skills equipped with the right perks you unlocked, right? Because a lot of those perks coincide with the skills you unlock. And then the weapons made a difference. What was really cool about this, you could actually craft and upgrade your gear, your weapons at a vendor in one of the camps. What this means is if you had a mask that was rare, well, you could upgrade it to epic. And when you do this, well, this gives you an extra mod slot, which we're gonna do right now is we are going to improve the rarity, right? Which does cost us materials, but as soon as you upgrade the rarity, you're able to select a mod slot for that area, right? So right here, we have 3 mods that we'd actually put in there, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna select it. Now remember, this does work with all your gear, and it could work with all your weapons. So you can increase the rarity, you can increase the, you can mod the gear so you can switch out the type of ability that gear had, or you can raise the attributes, right? And what all this means is your character will play at a different style than the guy you're playing with, right? So this gives every class, every player a unique experience. And that's what I really love about this. You can build the character the way you want to play to your play style. And that's what they really wanted to harp on. They really want you to be in control on how you play. I personally like running gunning, so I had skills that complemented my running gunning. I had a skill that was like freezing the enemies while slowing them down, and then I was able to use my damage on my weapons to kill the enemies. So this was actually one of my favorite skills to use, and I was able to clear content solo. So Definitely, you can spec the way you want. You can switch it up if you're in solo or team play. And this really gives you the freedom to play the way you want. Now, since this is a looter RPG, why not talk about the loot system in this game? Well, to me, it felt really satisfying. And as you kill enemies, you open chests, you'll earn new weapons and new gear. Now, that's really standard for any type of looter game. But was the loot satisfying? And I'm going to tell you, from what I noticed from the short time I got to play, I had about 2 hours hands-on. When I got a better weapon and I equipped that better weapon, I definitely felt the difference. And the same went for gear. As I started to get better gear, I really noticed the difference of equipping that gear and how much stronger and how much more powerful I felt. And that should be in any looter game. Because if you ever play a looter game and you feel like the gear isn't powerful, you feel like the weapons aren't powerful after you kill, like say you fight a hard boss or you fight a hard enemy and you get a better weapon that's supposed to give you more power and you don't feel like you have more powerful, well, there's something wrong there, right? Because there's nothing satisfying about getting worse loot than what you already had after you kill a boss, right? And I really feel that's where Outriders shines, right? The looting part of this game for a looter shooter made me feel like I would be grinding and I would be rewarded for the grind. But that is enough about loot. What about the combat system? Because I know a lot of you guys are going to ask me, how did the combat in Outriders feel? Well, the battles in Outriders are fast-paced and intense, as you guys can see right here. And it always keeps you on the edge of your seat. You can't always just blunt force your way through a battle. Sometimes you have to retreat. Sometimes you have to dodge the enemy's attacks. Sometimes you just have to play on the defensive. You can't just go in there with one play style and always dominate. And that's what I really loved about this game. Like sometimes I had to get in cover. Sometimes I had to use my skills that controlled the crowd, right? It was a crowd control skill, so it could attack the small minions that were chasing me. And then I was able to focus my damage on the boss. The thing that you guys need to remember is for skills, you always have 3 skills available, but these skills do go on cooldown after you deploy them. So you do have to wait for the skill to come back before you can redeploy that skill and use that skill again. Now, before I give you guys a go or pass on this game, I definitely want to get my hands on it a little bit more. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, Square Enix definitely hooked me up by giving me early access to this on a private server. So big shout out to them. And I do want to play a little bit more before I give you guys my final thoughts on if this is a buy or a pass. But so far, I was having a lot of fun. And if you like third-person looter shooter games, well, this might be a game for you. I want to know, what do you guys think about the gameplay you guys just witnessed here? Do you guys think this is a game that you might be interested in? Or have you guys already been keeping an eye out for this game? Because there's definitely a lot of videos out there right now on Outriders. So if you guys want to take a look at those videos. I will have some more gameplay of the Technomancer. I'll probably have some raw gameplay coming up either later today or even tomorrow. So if you guys want to see some more gameplay of this game, don't worry, I'll have some raw gameplay for you guys to just enjoy and just see how the game plays. I'm going to wrap this up here. I appreciate the support, guys. Thank you guys again, as always. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, Nothing But Skills is out.